You said you wanted to take part in the sport of boxing. So today is a fan Q&A, and what we're going to do is make sure that you get the opportunity to either coach or compete in boxing. It's my pleasure to approach this conversation and topic because there are several things that you're going to learn today that a lot of people are, they overlook. And so today you're going to have the opportunity to go up into the stories and you can get access to becoming a member of USA Boxing. Now, you're going to see the Olympic team, and that's going to motivate a lot of you youngsters who have never taken part in the sport because that's available to you. So, what we do want to encourage you all to think about is that there are rules in boxing. And so, I also placed in the stories the link to the rules of boxing. That's the little small details that some of us overlook. And it's a lot of reason why a lot of you get to competitions and you don't fare well because you don't know all the rules well. So I also put that up in the link. And today is fan Q&A. So our objective is to first inform you and then take questions because that's what I'm here to do. Make sure that you guys are well informed, and we want all of the up and coming boxing and aspiring trainers to really have somewhere where you can come and feel like you're getting the answers that you need. Because I remember coming into the sport and you don't think about anything but putting your gloves on and throwing punches. But what happens is this: a lot of things that you had no idea that you had to know. That's what happens. And even with mentorship, it's a lot. So we want to make that really, we're going to simplify that and cut out the noise. So welcome and let me know exactly where is it that you're watching from on the planet today, because we're going to get into some serious conversations. So let me see. Right now, I got my people over here on Instagram, and a lot of the times when I'm live, people say, "Are you live?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Good afternoon, my man. Let me see. Allscape. Al. Good to see you. Let me know where you guys are watching from. And let me see. Yeah, you don't abandon right now and go to the stories, but go there after we get done because I want to make sure that you were in a position that you can really get this information put directly in front of you. Because I know a lot of you got to see the Ryan Garcia fight, and you're thinking about having your nemesis like Devin Haney in the amateur rankings. And what'll happen is that'll happen if you go towards that. But I have something that I want to share with the coaches. You have an opportunity to not only just be a coach, but you can host a coach's clinic. The reason why that's important is because now you're getting all of the real effervescence of boxing right up under your roof. So if you have a boxing gym and you've never hosted a coach's clinic, that's available, and that's also up in the story. So you don't have to really rush because we're going to cover the conversations that will help and enlighten you. And I'm going to give you my decades of experience in the sport of boxing, and that's why I'm here. And a lot of you just want to take part, but you really don't understand or know what it takes. And I'm talking to the coaches who are doing it right now, and they know that they need to know more. And if you're in that place, you can go right up into the portal on the stories, and you can click right in there and just listen, and you'll see several options for you to get better educated so that you can have a flourishing program, and that you're just not one of these guys who are just going to competitions just to be a part of them, but you're going to competitions to actually kick butt, take names, and build future stars. That's what it's all about, learning sportsmanship and all of that. Now, I had a question earlier, and I'm going to see What workout should I do for the neck workout training regimen? Let me see. What's your name? What's your name? It's hard to see it from the screen, but the neck workout, neck training is very essential. After I get done, I'm going to show you guys in the stories. I'm going to place another I'm going to place a picture of a neck routine that you can do. We actually have it over on our YouTube channel. So if you have never been over to our YouTube channel, go over to our YouTube channel, Master Boxing LLC, and it's one of the more fulfilling ones. There are a lot of boxing channels, but the reality is if you like what you see here, when you go to the YouTube channel, you can forget about it. It's all the way. You get full content. We got playlists and everything. But the reality is you need application. That just shows you what you don't understand and know. Until somebody's in front of you teaching you how to do this stuff and telling you what you're doing right and wrong. See, we know how to do it. When you're copying it, you're going to find yourself with a lot of holes and you don't want to have holes in your game. So go over there to get aware over Master Boxing LLC, or you can type in my name, Eric Bradley, with Master Boxing, and it'll show up. And just subscribe, and you'll be, you don't have to do a lot of other hunting. It's plain and simple over there. You're learning. You'll get the neck exercises because we have that part of the conditioning program. And when you're developing your neck, you're really conditioning yourself in an entirely different light. So most people don't realize how important it is to strengthen the neck muscle. So I'm very pleased with that question. And when you're doing it, there's directional, the scalene muscles, the trapeze, all of these different areas that you have to concentrate on development because punches will, jar your neck. And if your neck isn't strong, you're more susceptible to be knocked down with a flash knockdown because you don't have proper adrenaline going through those arteries back there. Because a knockout is when that 3 pounds of pressure touches you right here on the chin and it shuts off that valve right behind your jaw. And that's where flash knockdowns typically come from and balance shots. But developing the neck, stronger circulation, all of these little things matter as you continue to start boxing, and then you go up in different levels. And when you're going up in different levels in boxing, you want to make sure that you're prepared and you don't want to get the stun gun. Let me see, there's another question I see. um, you want to learn how to stay aggressive and calm. I want to see your name. Shilly lifestyle. Okay, so aggressive and calm, it's all about timing. And the most beautiful thing about competition is, you do have to know. It's just like Bruce Lee said many decades ago. One of the things that you want to keep in mind, and if anyone else has questions, feel free to drop it down. Some of them I won't be able to get to, but don't worry. In Facebook, I can't get to you today, but make sure you comment your questions so I can get right to you. And if you're over on YouTube, just do the same thing. But the thing about it, YouTube and Instagram, everything goes away once the stream stops. So that's the only thing that's negative there. But LinkedIn, TikTok, and Facebook, theirs are there. So if you're on either one of those platforms, do your questions and know that they will be brought back up, even if it's on the next show. So how to stay calm and how to bring the heat at the same time. It's just like Bruce Lee said many decades ago, like I was saying, when you're in a match, you have to conform to your opposition like water. Whenever they want to fight, you box. And whenever you want to box, well, whenever they want to box, you fight. So aggression is not required in boxing. a particular algorithm is. Aggression is more or less emotionally based, and that will get you in trouble in boxing. As I told you guys, there are only two type fighters in the world. And Devin Haney this weekend, he remotely turned into an output fighter. And the output fighter is a person that typically takes force, and he's just aggressive and he's attack mode. But he's a natural input fighter, which is more of a person that collects data. You know the type fighters that do that. Shakur Stevens, Mayweather, Willie Pep, great fighters who understand, and even Canelo Alvarez. He's very balanced in that direction. He's learned much better over the course of time how to be more of an input fighter because he started out as an output fighter. And output fighters, like I said, Mike Tyson in his prime, George Foreman, people who came to bring pure smoke to your body or head. They want offense and more. And the input fighter is a person who just literally collects the data. They don't operate without that. They're defensively responsible, and they're typically cat quick. So you got to be careful. Evander Holyfield was an amazing example of one that transitioned both ways. He can bring the smoke and he can counter you really, really well. He was a savage. And if you watch his career, you could really see a lot of different skills and techniques. And like I said, he's from my tree with Tommy Brooks, who was under Archie Moore. And you guys know that, you know, I was the brain trust over at the Moore in the Moore state. So having the real behind the scenes of that kind of skill from greatness is a powerful tool. So knowing how to be aggressive, be careful about aggressive. You have to have your emotions in control because you don't want to have a low IQ, EQ. Okay. That's your emotional intelligence. And IQ, of course, meaning your ring awareness and how well you understand it, like Tom Brady, like Michael Jordan, like Tiger Woods. They have high IQs. You know, when you're thinking about Albert Einstein, you know, everybody who did things great. It's all about high IQ. And if you're so high, you're called what we call a Mensa, you know, or one of the things that I've been called a lot of times is a boxing savant. A savant is someone who's extremely intelligent in an area, and it's almost scary. Okay, so it's like they got the playbook right in their hands, and they don't. It's just in here. It's just they're breathing it. So that's how you manage operating with aggression, which is you don't use aggression. You could throw at a particular algorithm, knowing how to let your hands go. Be volumic with your approach. Stay balanced. Don't get emotional. Keep your EQ out of it and make sure that your IQ is front and center. Don't allow emotions to get tied to boxing. Emotionally contracted fighters or emotionally convicted fighters get knocked out. When you're boxing, you got to understand the upper hand of this thing is all about control, aggression. Okay. Never allow anyone to cross that line without understanding how to utilize lateral movement. Does that make sense? And set things up. And so I try to educate you all about knowing the education about boxing. There are only three reasons why fighters lose fights. Number one, it's all about the competence level, the lack thereof competence, whether it's skill or the people who are working the corner who don't know how to communicate with the fighter. That's number one, incompetence. Number two, lifestyle, overweight, whether it's with muscle or dieting, fighting in the wrong weight class, and lifestyle, which is drinking, partying, not really living the life of an athlete. An athlete has to live a particular type life. Their body is their temple, so they must operate that way. You will soon pay the price if you are trying to live both ways. We've just witnessed it over the weekend. Great young man, has a full lot of potential to continue to soar towards greatness, but the lifestyle is the reason why you will lose a fight. And number three, EQ. You get too aggressive and you slip on a banana peel and get clipped, a la Kamara Usman, a la people who want too much and just don't have control over their EQ. This is the game, and this is boxing. And that's where you have to really understand this game. It's not just about, it's not fighting. Boxing is a science. And that's why we teach systems so that you don't get confused. You 52 weeks of understanding balance, understanding how to approach your training and how to get it into your muscle memory. So, like I said, make sure that you don't get yourself emotionally caught up into this thing. Anybody else got questions? Make sure you drop them down. Let me see if I can see. Uh, Holy crap. Philly Shell. All right. If you're trying to get, no, that wasn't Philly Shell. Man, this is a big question. I'm sparring without, let me see. Hold on one second. I got to get close to the computer and see this. So this young man is saying that he spars without knowing the rules. Okay, that's look. You don't play boxing. You just throwing that's that. You know, I don't want you to waste time. Special shouts out to my people from Germany. I don't want you to waste time, and that's what you're doing. Get serious about the sport and don't play boxing unless you're just going to be a sparring partner, and that's going to get you hurt. Because just imagine, go on YouTube and type in sparring smokers with people like Devin Haney and Shakur Stevens, and think about what happens when you get in there against real boxers who box for a living. Boxing is a sport. And if you play it, if you do it, don't play with it because you will get brain damage, serious brain damage, or worse. This is from somebody who's warned many people, and all it takes is for that jaw to get cracked or that eardrum to get burst. Don't play boxing. If you're not educated, if you're not schooled, if you don't have a training system, a training regimen, or people to teach you, don't play. It's not a game, man. And it's not a hobby. And it's not a typical sport. It's not a typical sport. You don't play boxing. And more people have died in boxing ring than any other sport. Any other sport. And the reason why is head trauma is real. And if you don't have skills, you can't think that you're going to figure boxing out. People don't go to the gym 6, 7, and 8 hours a day for no reason. It's that much to learn. Typical boxing class, real boxing class is 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours, 4 hours for people like me when I was coaching, because we were working with Olympic fighters, world champions, and y'all know who I'm talking about. All the guys that mess with right now, I still consult and advise world champions. You know, you've seen me do podcasts live with them, doing film studies and fight strategies. You know, former WBO world champion Otis Griffin was just talking last week about when we had George Kambosos up here before the fight that he had with Lopez. We told him exactly what to do. He didn't do a lot of it, but he did most of it. But he did understand one thing that I told him. You better be serious because you're not just going to beat this guy. He's not one of those guys you're used to fighting. You know, you got to fight these guys different. And so this is what this is all about. It's about you guys really understanding that we teaching you some stuff that you just ain't gonna go get. But like I said, when this thing is over, you can go right up to the stories and you can then start watching the actual, you can really start watching. I'm gonna pop over here to Facebook because I can't do them like that. Facebook has been too good over the past years. So I got to make sure that my people over there know that I'm there for them. And I'm going to take a question, just one over there. Okay, let me see. I got one there. So what's going on, man? You watching from Wyoming? Where is that? Longview Tech. Oh, Texas in the building. Floyd, what's up, coach? This is one of my young guys. His young son is really going to be one of the stars you guys are watching. He's going to be one of the stars that you guys are watching. Good gracious, YouTube is off the chain. All right. My man said, first you got to get in shape. Yes, you do. Let me see. Yes, I'm live. I am live. I got my people on YouTube. They like, yes, I'm totally live, and that's why I'm answering questions. But I told you it's hard to get to everything. It's like 20 questions over here. But what I'm going to do, YouTube, because your questions will go away, and I am about to close the shop. I do want you guys to know YouTube. If you got an Instagram account, go over to Master Boxing at Master Boxing and go into my stories, and you can find all the links that I put there. I got the links to the coaches clinic. I got the links to the rules of boxing. You want to know the rules in boxing. I got the link up there for registering to be a USA boxer, and you can do the same thing to become a USA boxing coach as well. You can use the same link. Go up there and you can do those things. And I made sure that I got everything up there for you guys. And I see people are hitting it up. And if you want to become a really top level master boxing, just type the word skills. You'll see that video up in there and have a full complete training regimen. They have some basic little stuff on USA boxing. The only thing we want you guys to do is be fully equipped. Now this is next level. This is 52 weeks of training. This is a training program. The difference between a system and a program is a program solves a problem. A system solves all the problems. So you understand everything about boxing when you type skills. And you can't do it on YouTube. You got to go over to Instagram and do it. But go over there, register. If you're not, I do encourage you guys who are coaches to host one of those coaches clinics. They are so powerful to do in your gym. And it's such a positive thing when you can host one of those things and all of the coaches come and you get all the insight by the great people who are on the staff from USA Boxing. They come and they set up, and it just brings life into your gym. And if you want new members, that's a great way to attract new members to your gym, because having events is how you really do it. And if you're in that place and you want to make sure you're getting people, this is how you do it. You create events. That's what we do. We encourage people and we coach you how to get the people to your gym. We had a solid attract 100 new people to your gym. These little methods are how you fill it up and have a thriving boxing program, but a fitness program must be, front and center, because it's not 100 boxes that's going to walk in your gym, but you definitely can get 100 people. And if you want 100 people in your gym, make sure you DM us and let us know, and we'll show you, kind of like the roadmap to get to that, and you can hop on a call. But other than that, we want to make sure that I at least get one question from my YouTubers, man. They are so loyal. I just ran into a guy today while I was at the store. He was asking me, "Oh, I like that. Thanks a lot. He said Pitbull has a good workout, a neck workout out there. Good. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Because I know people like that are being taught by people who understand it. But go to Master Boxing LLC as well. If you enjoy what we do and how we do what we do, you'll really love our training regimens and videos that we put over on YouTube, because those are, a lot of them are really just so in depth and broken down. Let me see. What's my guy? Let me see. What's up? Yeah, you're talking about some serious stuff. Let me see. What you say up here, Paul? Let me read that. Gosh, next time I'm gonna make sure I got my phone right in front of me so I can see it. 32 years ago. Good gracious. Oh man, Paul, I can't get to everything today because I'm about to shut the post down, but I can read yours on Facebook. You said my posts are positive. I appreciate you, brother. And I'm going to read and respond to all of you guys. Everybody who leaves a comment on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on, well, those are the only two that really receive them. Everybody else makes your stuff disappear after the fact. But I'm going to make sure I respond to you. So make sure that you, I'm a screenshot. Jeez, I'm glad you all showed up. But wow, I gave you a lot. All of you over on YouTube, what I'm going to tell you before I give you the last pearl, and this pearl is going to help you a lot. So make sure you just hang tight for just a second. When I share with you just the real essence of how you can really contribute to this sport, it's really not taking shortcuts. It's all about really learning, why are you in this sport and what is it that you want out of it. And when you can do that, that really cements where you are going to go direction wise. I get up every single day, and what I want to do is give you something to inspire you. So if you go to our post, you can see nothing but inspiration, because I believe if you have a higher power that you believe in, mine is God, Jesus Christ, and if you take that with you, it'll protect you, because it's a dangerous sport. And we want you all to realize that it's not something that you play, but you'll gain so much discipline from it. You'll be able to talk to people with a different level of confidence. If you're one of these guys out here and you don't have confidence, it's perfect for you, because you'll walk around with an entirely different spirit when you have that. And then you have a higher faith. Like I said, mine is Jesus, yours may be Yahweh, or you may be Muslim. Whatever your higher power is, have it, believe in it. But the thing is, when you implement that and box what you learn to become, there's not a lot of people on the planet that will ever surpass you in the things that you'll be able to accomplish. So if you're ready to accomplish what you know you can do, and you want more confidence, and you want to go into that ring, or you want to host these events at your facility, that's when you do the things that matter, and you work on yourself, your internal spirit. When you do that, everything that comes to you, you can handle. So if you win or lose, you can handle a loss. If you win, you have to learn to stay humble. And that is what this sport is all about, not the other stuff, not the acting like goons, but be smart, be wise, and pass that on to the people that are watching and supporting you, and learn. If you're going to do it, building a fan base is so important, because people want to just not see you fight. They want to hear about what you do and why you do what you do. That's the main tagline for Apple. We believe people don't just follow you, they follow you because of why you do what you do, not what you do. So give a person the inside scoop on who you are. That's the fingerprint, that's your brand. All right. And if you ever have questions about taking what you're doing to the next level, you know how to reach us. You've been involved in around the internet for decades. Just find us. That's all I got, guys. Special shouts to all of the brothers and the new members to the School of Boxing Top Training You program. I don't have the list because I like to call out the names and let people know and give them a special shout out, but I'll definitely do that on my next live stream, which will be tomorrow. You got to make sure you tune in if you want to learn how Jake Paul, Ryan Garcia, and all of those guys really fill up their arenas, the methods behind it. We got experts that's coming on, and we will talk about the fight. We will break it down. You don't want to miss tomorrow, 5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't care what you're doing before that, but at 5:35 and 2:35 West Coast time, be in the building because you're going to learn a lot about this thing. We're going to break this entire fight down from a business perspective. So if you like making money and you like growth, this is the show for you. If you're not about that life, then I understand. But until then, be blessed at God's speed. And if you're serious and you want more help, type skills and we got you covered. So long, guys. Peace.